You know I have no intentions on pre-ordering statues this year, but if I did, which ones would they be? So it is only January and I'm already seeing stuff that I want to buy. I don't know how you're handling it, but it's already being a struggle for me. Anyway, in no particular order, let me tell you what statues, my top 13 so far, that are currently, as the date of this recording, still available for order or pre-order. So the first one is one that just recently came up for pre-order. Sideshow's premium format Batgirl. Now looking at that statue, I have to admit I am thoroughly impressed with that one. That is definitely a statue that when it came up for pre-order, I was like, why? Why now? My only hopes is that it's gonna still be available later and it's very much mass produced. I'm just thinking ahead of time where if it's mass produced, discount, free shipping sometime in the future. But yeah, I mean, that base alone with Clayface being in a kind of a mud pile, electrocuted with Alita features sticking out of his mouth, his eyes, all the faces. If I remember correctly, it's Gordon, Batman, and Nightwing or Robin. The outfit itself, she's battle damaged, and that just looks freaking amazing. I'm liking that it's not clean, but it still looks awesome, still looks badass. And yeah, that's definitely one that I want. I want that one a lot. But I'm sticking to my guns, and if I can't get it, oh well. Next statue is one that's been available for a while, and I feel it's on the verge of being sold out. See if I can pronounce it correct. It's called Jimmy Palace Studio One Piece Perona 1/6 scale statue. Reason why I like that statue, this is definitely relatable to all my anime fans, all of my One Piece watchers out there. That base is just very kind of, well, it shows Perona's abilities, you know, the ghost, the characters, kind of like a Halloween theme style base. The whole thing just looks very amazing the way it's done. And then we have Perona herself standing on that base, or sitting on that base with that umbrella behind her. Very cute outfit that she's wearing too. Very good looking, cool looking pose that she has. And overall, it's definitely one that I wanted to get off the bat, but at the time I just had too much stuff going on. Just couldn't pull the trigger on it. I had other stuff, other statues. But number one rule of collecting, you just can't have it all, but that's definitely one I'll be looking for, and if I can find it for a reasonable price, I'll definitely be picking up that one day. All right, so let's go back to Sideshow. Now this is one that's actually available. And this one is one that I'm very impressed by it, but it's a big reason why I want to wait for the Batgirl statue to come out as well. Statue being the most recent Sideshow premium format Poison Ivy. Now I love how that statue looks like Poison Ivy taken over by a plant-based symbiote kind of look. The biggest seller for me on that one is obviously, like I said, the symbiote, and well, symbiote looking kind of plant material, but just how her hands look like freaking claws. Man, she looks super badass in that one. My only problem with that is, so what I've seen as far as the production piece, people actually reviewing it and have it in hand, is the prototype, her green was a lot more brighter. Now, when I even look at the box art on it, it's like the box art has a picture of the statue itself. And I'm like, man, I wish the colors on that box art, the statue, was how she actually looked, very bright and vibrant. I understand she's supposed to be looking very dirty, grimy, things like that. But still, there's just something about what I initially saw it as, with her being more vibrant colors, that in my back of my mind, I still want that. Don't get me wrong, it still looks badass, and it's one that I definitely want to pick up one day, but just not right now, just not this year. All right, so the next statue are, we'll just call it a series, but one of them is waitlisted and the other one's actually available right now. Some of you may not even heard about it. I didn't know about it until recently myself. I saw the first original one, but they came out with a second one to accompany it, and it's obviously gonna be a series. It's a Brilliant Goddess series. Now what these are, they take very beautiful looking women and put them in somewhat like a samurai attire. The first one, very beautiful. Girl's wearing a blue dress, flowing, back turn, very easy to the eyes, not menacing, not threatening. Very nice looking statue. The new one that's available, she's wearing that samurai hat where it's kind of a straw hat where you can see through the hat itself. Girl looks very intimidating, but not scary. Again, that series is supposed to, in my opinion, what's supposed to look like, take very beautiful, easy to the eyes looking girls, put them in the samurai gear. Because it's original artwork, it's not, I think it's original artwork. I could be completely wrong, but just the design, the overall concept design, and the final product that I'm seeing with these, definitely a collection, a series that I would consider getting if it wasn't for everything else that's going on. All right, so let's take a stroll down video game land. Yes, next one up in the list, again, no particular order, is Kanhao King of Fighters Vanessa statue. Now, King of Fighters is a game for me that I have a lot of history with. I'll tell you a story about that some other time, but as far as the character design, obviously, who do we know from King of Fighters? Females? Mai. Most popular one. So I'm glad they're actually branching off and starting to create other characters other than Mai. Vanessa, anyway, is basically a boxer. She wears, hip hugger pants, kind of a crop top with suspenders underneath it. And if you ever played the game, if you're familiar with it, you'll see that girl can throw down, throw some punches, knock some people out. And she has a very, very cool, original looking character design. What's very cool about that statue too is that it has a very huge base that complements her. Standing in front of kind of like this fountain statue itself, where she's just positioning herself in front of that. It's actually a statue from an actual stage in the King of Fighters games. But yeah, that's definitely one that's from this list on pretty up there. Now I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me, but my favorite symbiote is Carnage. And PCS put out an awesome tribute piece to Maximum Carnage. Now when I first saw this statue, I have to admit, I was just like, what is this bundle of mess here? Main reason is because it is a 360 statue where there's something going on in all directions. So unless you have it in the middle of a room or on a pedestal or on a mirror, or plan to move it frequently, that thing has something going on, which is also its best attribute. Maximum Carnage has a ton of Spider-Man characters just getting along. That's where you see Spider-Man and Venom teaming up to take out Carnage. So needless to say, that statue has a little bit of story for every part of that Maximum Carnage series. Different little characters everywhere, different scenes. Probably my best part of that statue is that piece of Carnage where he's sticking out like that. Just reminds me of the NES cover for the Maximum Carnage video game. But yeah, that's definitely one that's on the list. Not on the top of the list, but it's definitely one that I would love to have one day. Next one on the list, another Sideshow piece. Now, can't really compliment on it other than there's only one picture of it right now. It's not even up for pre-order. And I hope they push that pre-order as far back as, because I really want this statue. It is a Wolverine Colossus fastball. Now we constantly see concept of stuff where Wolverine has been thrown by Colossus. Heck, it wasn't even in the damn movie, where he's basically throwing them, the plan is throwing them right into a Sentinel so Wolverine can tear up that Sentinel. In some instances, he actually just tears right through it, fatality right through the chest, through the back. But yeah, just on that one picture, I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be badass. Can't say any more on that, but there you go. So next one on the list is another set, if you want to call it that, but I'll just prioritize them the way I would want them, because again, can't have them all, and I don't plan to get any of these, although I want them, and maybe if I did, I'll pull the trigger on one. That's going to be the PCS Ninja Turtle Leonardo statue. Just real quick, I would rank them like this as ones that I want to get. Leonardo, the Donatello, the Raphael, then the Michelangelo. So, but those things are expensive as hell each, and to have all four of them take up a lot of space, a lot of money as well. But yeah, that Leonardo, well, real quick, Leonardo's always been my favorite turtle. Let me know who was yours. But because it was my favorite turtle, of course, he's the one that I would prioritize the most. And his design did not disappoint. His stance, his pose, the katanas, the texture work, the skin color. I mean, that statue to me is badass. And the fact that I don't have any Ninja Turtle statues, yeah, that's another one that's pretty high on the list just for that factor alone. But again, kind of that whole series as one, but in order to prioritize this list, I'll pick Leonardo. So you saw my last statue review, which was my first statue review of the year, Harley Quinn Bombshell. Now, when it comes to Harley Quinn, you know that I want to get all the variations of Harley Quinn. Unfortunately, this is that one statue that I definitely want, but realistically, I don't see myself actually getting it just because of the price alone. Prime 1's Harley Quinn Who Laughs. Very awesome design, very awesome concept. I mean, it's something if you take Harley Quinn, mix it with Hellraiser, that's the kind of look that I can honestly get when I look at this statue. And I would want to get the one that has two unmasked portraits because it's a cool design. You know, the other ones where she has kind of had like that cage in her face, and I'm not liking the one where her face is completely covered like in a, like honestly it looks like War's ball sack, the Jaws of Death, that one super exclusive portrait, whatever it is. I could do without that one, but I want the one, if I were to get it, the one with the two portraits that are actually showing her face. But again, that statue is just way out of my price. That's not out of my price range, but I can't justify pulling the trigger on that for the price that they're asking for it. But nonetheless, it's one that I want, and that's why it's on this list. I am very surprised this statue is still actually available. The statue that I'm talking about is Wonder Woman from the Injustice series. Now, when Prime 1 made these Wonder Woman statues, I was just like, hell no, dude. You can't have Wonder Woman wearing pants. Get out of here with that nonsense. Well, they must have heard me because they made a special edition where Wonder Woman's not wearing pants. And yeah, she's still wearing the skirt, but her look, the portrait, the pose, the anatomy, yeah, that Wonder Woman, that special one without the pants, I'm like, pretty damn nice. Pretty damn nice. Again, guys, I was wondering, why didn't I get that one at the time, even though it's been available for a long time, still available now, is just like I mentioned before, I had a lot of other stuff going on, statues being ordered, funds being pulled here and there, couldn't really pull the trigger on it at that time. I guess Prime 1's on a roll today, right? Obviously, right? So next one is one that I want just for the artwork, the concept itself, and because I'm a huge fan of electronic music, dance music, EDM, and that's just the vibe that I get from this, looking at this statue. It is the, let me see if I can pronounce it right, Hatsune Miku statue. A DJ getting ready to do some mixes, getting ready to do a live set. That's kind of vibe that I get, and just looking at it, again, because I'm a huge fan of EDM, club music, dance music, techno, house, trance, all that stuff. You know, I'm a huge fan of it, and that's the vibe that I get looking at this statue. Of course, not the one where it's just by herself with the actual speakers and all that, the computer setup. Yeah, that freaking statue looks badass and is one that's definitely on top of the list. So another statue that I have no statues of, and of course it had to come from one of the more expensive companies, Prime 1, the Alita Rusty Angel statue. And just seeing that statue where she's kind of being, I guess, rebuilt. The funny thing about it is it was actually just an art piece, art design, artwork that they've actually made into an actual statue, and just all the mechanical work in it, looking, these mechanical wings, her herself, her robotic body with her portrait, just kind of that emotion of just being in pain, wondering, I feel human, but I'm robotic. you know, it just gives a lot of depth to the statue, not just as far as the design, the concept, the way it looks, but also hitting the person with emotion. All right, so let's end the list. Again, this isn't necessarily top of the list, it's just the last of the list. But it's also gonna be the most rarest statue that there is right now. It is the Prime 1 Joker Batsuit. And as a recording of this, if I'm correct off the top of my head, they're only gonna make 100 of these. Now, why haven't I picked that up? You know that Joker is definitely one of my favorite characters, and just like I mentioned with the Harley, a concept, a different look, a different design, a different concept. Freaking Joker in a Batman, customized Jokerized Batman suit? How could I say no to that? Easy. Look at the price on that thing. God, why, dude? If that statue was more reasonable, hell yeah, I would have been like, hey, that thing is coming in next month. But no. And I think that's a big reason why the ES, the edition size on that statue, is so low, because it's a Prime 1, and I'm assuming it's probably gonna be the size of any one of these. The biggest one I have here is obviously the Harley. So if it's even as big as that one, right, as tall as that one, the base on that one doesn't look any bigger than this one. Just saying. But holy crap, if I'm correct, it's going for about that $1,700 price range. And that's before shipping and taxes. So I'm just like, dude, are you trying to bait me in with this damn edition size of, oh, there's only 100 of them, you better get it. I think that's what they're trying to do. There you go. Those are the 13 statues that are currently available for order or pre-order as the making of this video. But again, sticking to my guns, not ordering any of those large-scale expensive statues for the remainder of this year. Again, I do have some coming in. I actually got one earlier today. That's going to be another one I'm saving for October, the Gathering. That's my list, guys. Again, one more time, let me know what your top whatever, even if it's just whatever your top statue is for this year, if you're going to get it, if you're not going to get it, why or why not. Definitely want to hear your comments, so leave them down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And as always, collect what makes you happy.